Hey guys, it's me Jerika and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about nursing here in New Zealand. So I've been receiving a lot of messages asking me to do this on an English version. So yeah, this is for you guys. Without further ado, let's begin. So you're a registered nurse, you want to work and live here in New Zealand. What are the requirements? Firstly, you should have at least 2 years, or to be exact, 2,500 hours of nursing experience for the last 5 years. So I repeat, nursing experience. You should be a registered nurse while doing that job. Secondly, once you have that, you should focus on passing your English exam. So it's either OET, Occupational English Test, or IELTS. So they require a certain grade for that. We'll tackle that one in a bit. So once you have that, you have your 2 years of nursing experience in the last 5 years and you've passed your English exam. What's next? So actually it's on their website. So I'll just guide you. And yeah, let's start. Alright guys, so we need to visit their website. So it's nursingcouncil.org.nz. Everything is in there. We'll just click that one. So you will see this interface. We just need to click I want to be a nurse in New Zealand and registration for international nurses. So the next one is I am currently registered in another country, which is, yep, for me, I am registered in the Philippines and I was also working in UAE before. So click that one, click the I want to start my application to the New Zealand Council. Alright, so you will see everything in here. So there's the standards, process, costs, and frequently asked questions. So basically, it's all in there. You just have to go to their website. So we'll just tackle a bit of this list over here. So first, we'll go to the standards. So these are the requirements of the New Zealand Nursing Council. They need a proof of our identity. I think I've given my passport here. I didn't send them my original passport. I just gave them a copy. It was just a scanned copy. I think I notarized that. Next one is English language, which I've told you before. So it's either OET or IELTS. So for OET, you must achieve a minimum score of 350 for each band. So that's listening, writing, reading, and speaking. That's for OET. For IELTS, you must achieve a minimum score of 7 in each band. And of course, it should be academic test. So take note, guys, you can also do club scores. So club scores meaning if you didn't pass at least, for example, your reading on your first sitting, you can do another one for the second time or third time or fourth time. At least it should be within 1 year. And then you can join them. As long as you've got your 350 on each band for OET, or for IELTS, 7 on each band. But the problem is, it is acceptable on New Zealand Nursing Council, but some schools, they don't prefer you having club scores. So the choices of getting into schools or applying into schools will be limited because not all schools are accepting club scores. Take note, there are also exemptions for this. So if you've completed your nursing experience and registered as a nurse in UK, Ireland, Canada, or USA, you can request a waiver of the English language standard. If you're registered in practice in one of the above countries and you have to complete an English language test to gain registration, you may also apply for a waiver. Please note that the waiver request may not be approved. So it depends, guys. But if you're already working in UK, Ireland, Canada, or USA, you can just ask for a waiver and wait for the approval. Alright, that's done for the English language. The next one is current registrations. So this is just to prove that you are registered or licensed as a nurse in the country where you receive your nursing education and also hold current registration. So for me, I am a registered nurse in the Philippines where I graduated, and then I've worked in United Arab Emirates for 8 years, so I'm also registered as a nurse there. So for the nursing qualifications, the nursing qualification must be comparable to a Bachelor of Nursing degree in New Zealand. So basically for us in the Philippines, it's also Bachelor of Nursing. So I'm not sure with the other countries, but yeah, you can just check this one out. Alright, for the next one, it's post-registration experience. So this is your experience. So as what I've told you before, it should be 2,500 hours within the last 5 years. If you have not worked as a nurse for at least 2 of the last 5 years, you may still apply for the Credential Verification service. However, there is no guarantee that you will be recommended for registration. Note, if you have no registration experience at all, you are not eligible to apply for registration. So the next one is fitness to practice and competent to practice. For the fitness to practice, so you are required to complete an international criminal history check. So that is our ICHC. So for every country that you've lived in for 12 months or more over for the last 10 years, the ICHC must be completed. So this is the site that you will go through. So for me, of course, I'm from the Philippines, so I did that. And then I worked in UAE for 8 years. So that's more than 12 months already. So I also did one for UAE. So I did 2 ICHC, Philippines and UAE. So if ever that you're already in New Zealand for more than 6 months, maybe you're on partnership visa or working as a healthcare assistant, if that is 6 months or more, you are required to complete a criminal history check through Ministry of Justice here in New Zealand. Alright, so the next one is competent to practice. So this is where the CAP comes in, the Competence Assessment Program. So we'll tackle that in a bit. So generally it's just 6 to 12 weeks long, and it includes theory and clinical components. So once you are eligible to register here in New Zealand, once you have received that invitation from New Zealand Council, they will give you 2 years from the date of notification to begin CAP. So you have 2 years to look for a CAP school and complete your registration. Once you finish your CAP and you pass your CAP, you can apply for your annual practicing certificate. So that's their license over here. Once you have that, you are considered as a registered nurse already, and you can apply for a registered nurse job. That's the requirements. So we'll tackle about the process very quickly. We need to apply for CGFNS. So this is just to verify your documents. So you must submit your documents and credentials to CGFNS in order to complete the CGFNS credentials verification process to receive their report. Before, when I was applying, they still didn't have CGFNS. So we were sending our documents directly to the nursing council. Now they have the CGFNS to help them out with verification process. So it's basically the same. You're just sending out your documents to CGFNS instead of sending that to New Zealand Nursing Council. You have to register first. Click that one. So yep. So all of the requirements I've said earlier is already here. So your identity documents, employment history, education history, and license validation, and your language proficiency. So for identity documents, a copy of your passport, and it should be notarized, your employment history, your education history, and your license validation. So the tricky part is some of the requirements, they will just give you a form, and then you should give that to your school and your licensing body, and then they will fill that up, and they are the one who's going to send it to CGFNS, not you. Once you have that, you will also give a copy of your English exam, and yep, it's okay. You can just have a photocopy of it, but make sure that it's notarized, like it's a certified true copy. So that's done. Once you've passed all the requirements to CGFNS, you'll request CGFNS to send your report to the Nursing Council. So according to this one, it will take up to 3 working days to receive your report. You will then receive an email inviting you to complete the application process for registration. Alright, so step 3, apply to the Nursing Council. Once the Nursing Council received your documents from CGFNS, the Nursing Council will assess your application if you are eligible to apply for the competency assessment program. If you are eligible, you will receive an email inviting you that you can now look for a school. So with that invitation to apply, it's only valid for 2 years. And then with that 2 years, that's the only time that you can look for a school. So once you have that school, the next one is you will apply for your criminal history check. So this ICHC is only valid for 6 months. Usually for me, I think I did my ICHC 3-4 weeks before my CAP intake. So firstly, pass your English exam, register to CGFNS and Nursing New Zealand Council site, give them the required documents, and then once you're eligible to apply, look for a CAP school. And then once you have your CAP school, for me, I got in at Rennerdale, so they've asked me to get my ICHC 3 weeks or 4 weeks before my CAP intake. So yeah, that's it. Alright, so let's see how much is the registration. So this is the most painful part. So for the CGFNS Credentials Verification service fee is $300 US. And for the Nursing Council application and processing fee, it's 485 New Zealand dollars. For the competency assessment program, it depends on your school. So for me, I got in at Rennerdale. I paid around 10,500 New Zealand dollars. And yeah, I think some schools, they're giving a much lower tuition, or some almost also a little bit higher than 10,500. So it depends on your school. Maybe around 6,000 to 11,000, that's the estimated tuition fee. So for the ICHC fee, it's 149 Australian dollars, and this is in each country. So for me, I got 2 countries, Philippines and UAE. So I paid almost 300 Australian dollars because I got 2 countries. Yes. So frequently asked questions. Everything is in here, guys. You can just read about it. So for step 1 for the CGFNS, so everything is in here. You can just check that out. For the Nursing Council, everything is in here. Living and working as a nurse in New Zealand. So yeah, once you're ready, once you have that 2 years experience or your 2,500 hours of nursing experience and you've passed your English exam, so start your application. Alright, so they will bring you out here, and it's very easy, guys. You just carefully read everything, and it's very easy to follow. So yeah, this is the CGFNS site. So begin your application, just click that one. These are the documents needed. The fee is $300 US. So remember, guys, this fee is separate from the Nursing Council's application fee, which is 485 New Zealand dollars. I know it's a bit expensive, but once you start working, it will be fruitful. Promise. Just a quick recap. So you need to have your 2 years nursing experience. You need to pass your English exam, register with CGFNS and New Zealand Nursing Council site. Once you are eligible to apply for CAP, look for a CAP school, finish your CAP, pass your CAP. Once you passed it, you will apply for annual practicing certificate. So that's their license here. So it's called APC, or annual practicing certificate. Once you have that, you are considered a registered nurse already. So you can now apply and look for nursing jobs. Yep, it's called annual practicing certificate. Annual, yearly, yes, they renew their license here yearly. So yeah, you got your APC and your registered nurse here in New Zealand already. Congratulations. I think it's easy to follow the steps on how to be a New Zealand nurse. Just read thoroughly what's on their website. So just a quick info. What is CAP, or Competency Assessment Programs? CAP is 6 to 12 weeks depending on your school competency program. For Rannerdale, they have 6 weeks, some schools 8 weeks, some schools 12 weeks. So it depends which school you are going to attend your CAP. So for the English exam, I took OET. It's Occupational English Test, and it's like IELTS but more on the medical side. It's an English exam for medical professionals. So I think it's much more easier for us nurses because the topics are much more related to what we are doing in our everyday lives. So that's our video, guys. I hope you got something out from it. I wish you all the best on your application, especially now it's COVID, so everything is different. But yeah, hopefully it will be better soon. If you got any more questions, just comment down below or email me. See you here in New Zealand.